Live from Siem Reap, Cambodia. Dialing in, checking in. I really want to see if I want to check my. I got a microphone. Where's my microphone right here? I want to make sure that it's working properly because it's the first time I use it on the live. But let me see. It's the first time I use it on the live. But yeah, it's working. It sounds pretty clear. It's working. It sounds super. Sounds pretty clear. Okay, I'm very super. Sounds pretty clear. Yeah, I'm happy about that. But I'm very yeah. But today, I'm just I don't know. I'm freestyling. I'm freestyling most of the time when I get on live on TikTok or YouTube, whatever. I don't really be having a specific thing, but I do have a specific thing that I do want to speak about. I would like see. I don't have a lot of viewers here, so I really don't want to start talk. But I'm going to talk briefly about it a little bit, and then we're talking about immigration. Let's talk about. I want to speak about my opinion because we're not having a conversation because it's just me right now. But I want to speak about my opinion on the issue of dealing with stuff, immigration, deportation, laws, fines, just my whole opinion on the whole thing. Because from what I've seen and witnessed in my own life is that, and I have been out of the country in my life before. So what I'm saying is I understand, what the visa stuff, the importance of it and what it means. And also, I understand the attitude of other countries outside of the United States, their position in dealing with immigration, illegal, and how they deal with illegal immigrants and how they deal with legal immigrants. So that's a whole thing. And that's another thing. Um, that's not a thing that should be taken lightly. Actually, now a lot of you have a lot of American people that truly have the attitude that you know people are supposed to be allowed to just come inside of countries and be able to just be okay. You having a problem where you living at, or you poor, you need a job, whatever. You come here. Oh, United States is supposed to just let you in the country, and everything's supposed to be just hunky dory. Okay, that's good to be very, lighthearted and accepting of people's and all that. That's all good, but I'm gonna just tell you straight up and down, so I can't draw, so I won't draw, draw it out. Man, I'm in Cambodia now, right? And I have a visa, but check this out. I went over my visa, so I had to pay money for each. It's $10 a day for every day you go over your visa. It's $10 a day, point blank period. So you go over your visa for 30 days, you gonna have to pay $300. And guess what? When you go to that airport, you can't get out. They're not letting you go until you pay that fine. So what I'm saying is, and when you go to other places, like I'm gonna give you another example. I made a religious trip back in the day. I made a religious trip to Saudi Arabia. I made Umrah, right? Because I've been a lifelong Muslim. So what I'm saying is, back in that time, I made Umrah. So you get a visa for being a Haji. The Haji is for the Hajj, for the pilgrimage. Make a long story short, it's very that's a very serious thing dealing with those visas. Other countries are not like the United States. The United States is acts, and it's crazy that you got people in the streets going crazy about immigration and how the United States approaches immigration. And guess what? When you go to other countries, they don't play about those visas and the immigration stuff. They don't let you stay in their country. They don't let you. They don't. I'm telling you, I'm in it right now. I'm in it right now. I'm here in Cambodia. They not playing. And when you go to any of these other countries, they're not playing about immigration. So I don't see why American people have this light attitude or light opinion about immigrants. It really don't make no sense, and it really makes you seem. It to me, it just seems that the people are not really informed. But the energy of the people is manipulated in so many different ways. But I'm just here to speak about my opinion on the whole thing. Uh, I would have to say I don't agree with people being able to just come in and out as they please. I don't agree with that. Inside of this particular system, because it's pros and cons to it. It's not just a one-way street with any of this stuff. But what I'm saying is, nowhere on this earth are you going to be allowed to just come inside of a country and sit around and do business and buy property and land and all of that kind of stuff and with no nothing that you don't have to answer to nobody. It don't work like that in the real world. So I don't see why all these people is snapping out and going crazy about about people getting deported. It's a sad thing because families are being broken up. It's always collateral damage when you're dealing with things like that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a war, nobody loves a war. But what I'm saying is, inside of these conflicts, stuff happen to people. Stuff happen to people that don't deserve it. I don't. That's the best way I can put it. So you know what I mean. Hey, if you come in, make sure you like the live. I appreciate it. So what I'm just saying, looking at that particular issue, you should put a lot of more thought on it than just Donald Trump, or maybe you don't like what Donald Trump represents, or what you think he stands for, and things of that nature. You know, we do have to go above and beyond all of that. The basic, whatever the basics, because most of the basics, if you believe he is as what the media says, then you really running late. I'm just saying, all of I've been through all of that. I've been through all of that race stuff. I've been through all of it. Race and all of that. I've been through all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you have to be balanced inside of all of that. Whether it's your political, with your views on the politics of things, whether it's what I mean, like with the race stuff. You know what I'm saying? Spiritual, God consciousness. Everybody got their own opinions about certain things, and really the mainstream views are wrong if you ask me. But that's my opinion because the mainstream views is right in certain realities, right? Okay. Um, so getting to having a balanced way of looking at things, just know that as an American, um, I truly have a lot of pride in my country. Just like, let's say, these Cambodians here. I'm here in Cambodia. They have a lot of national pride. They really love their country. They have national pride, point blank, period. Okay, they don't want or need people coming into their world without following, let's say, their rules. The United States, well, I'm just saying, the Americas, the American, what is called the United States. I'm gonna reword it like that. There's rules. It's rules, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way it's rules everywhere else. You know, uh, if you're coming in, then follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, then you can be held accountable for the rules that you broke. It's just that simple. Tam Tam, hi, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate you coming in and hitting the like button. I appreciate that. But I just think that that's a real serious thing, and there's a lot of emotion behind it. Like, for those of us who have, I would say I know I am. That's good. That's good. I appreciate you coming in and talking with me and then saying hi. I really appreciate that. And believe it or not, you might be the first one that no, you're not like the second person that ever get that said hi to me on my YouTube live. Yeah, because this is like I haven't went live a lot, but yeah, but yeah, it's how this is an emotional subject because a lot of people have connections with immigrant people, and so forth. My name's Ethan. Yeah, my name's Ethan. And yours, Tam Tam. But I'm just saying, like it's a lot. It's not too. It's not a game. This immigration thing, and really the rules and the rest. Because I ain't gonna lie, I had to pay fines for my visa being And I'm just saying they not playing here. They not playing in Thailand, right next door. They not playing nowhere else when dealing with these visas and dealing with different stuff. They not. So why do people think that this is a game for America? I mean, they're showing you stuff on TV that you need to scrutinize a little bit more. You know, you need to really, 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 really. If you really like look at a lot of stuff, you'll start seeing that everything ain't what you think it is. And a lot of stuff is put out in order to start changing the minds of the people. That's why they call it propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Like, and through propaganda. Oh, you're Cambodian. Oh, okay. Welcome in. But that I'm speaking about, you know, the importance of following the rules and having respect for the places for when you go and visit places in other countries. There's a big problem going on in the United States with immigration and deportation. Like people have come into the United States. They've built. They have jobs. They've built lives. They've built families, but they still had their status is not legitimate. They still have like an illegal alien type status, political status. And it really, I'm just saying, it's not right. Different people have different situations. Some people, fleeing from hardships. Some people, whatever. It's a lot of different situations. Everybody's situation not the same though. So, but it still has to be its rules. And it's sad that some people, you do have good people that get caught up into. You do get people that get caught up. Good people that get caught up in a bad way because of the majority of the people that's not following the rules. Everybody has to suffer. I speak English. Yeah, I speak English, Tam Tam. Yeah. You don't speak English? Well, I don't blame you. I don't speak Khmer yet, but soon, soon, soon. One day I will learn I will learn Khmer. I will at least learn. I'm going to learn enough Khmer so I can conversate though. You know what I mean? But traveling, traveling is a big blessing. It's a blessing. It's something. You should be grateful if you have the opportunity to leave your country and go into another country. You should be grateful for that. The same way people that come and visit the United States, they should be grateful because a lot of people. Oh, you do? Oh, okay, good, good, good. Um, a lot of people don't have. Everybody doesn't have that ability to be able to go the money, the time, and any of that to go and travel. But I'll just say, do the best you can to follow the rules. Don't get too much emotionally involved in what's going on with that. I only say that because there are a lot of things going on in our country, meaning the United, the America. There are a lot of things going on internally that are more important. But what I'm saying, I'm not saying that that's not important. That's very important. The immigration thing is very important. Don't get me wrong. I might have worded that the wrong way, but the point I'm trying to make is, you have to be balanced. You have to worry about. You put your mind on multiple things. Don't just all none of this stuff is just a one way street. It ain't just a. It's not just a one way street. It's a thing because everybody's situation not the same, and you know, hello, and everybody's it's nothing really wrong. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. One thing I've noticed like even on my YouTube, my YouTube algorithm, right? I'm noticing a lot of stuff, a lot of more of a certain thing. I'm starting to see a lot of military stuff, but I understand how it goes. Like, um, you have to be conscious of how things are moved. Things are moved through the minds of the people. The more you look at things and you perceive them to be real and you perceive them to be something worthy of your energy and your thoughts, these things manifest and come into your reality. So, like the television, the internet, things are highly suggestive. So, I'm just saying, um, be careful of becoming too angry with people. Be careful. No, United States. United, yeah. But just something to think about. It's something to think about because even I myself, as one who speaks about certain things on my in my content, I don't want to speak about certain things and in a certain way because I don't want to give that thing power in my reality. You know what I mean? I don't want to give that thing power in my reality. Just like, a lot of content is coming through my line to push. Let's say, it's a lot of conflicts going on in the world. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I appreciate you. Um, you just want to stay balanced or get balanced. You don't want to be thinking bad things. Think good. Have good thoughts. Have good thoughts. Uh, by the time we're going to accomplish certain things. You know. Yeah, I'm a bay. I'm a bay. Yep. But when the point I'm on, you got to go through a lot to realize some very very basic things, and you be like, it was always about that. In the very beginning, it was all about mind. But you may go through religion, politics, race, uh, your desires, just your own desires from your own, because everybody has desires. You go through all of that stuff, and you realize that it's always about your mind and your mind creating your reality, and also it being multiple realities. Multiple realities. Meaning, so like really conflicts where people are so much in conflicts that bang 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 they fight, they say bad things to each other, things of that nature, really don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense to people who are really up in the mind, because you understand that a lot of the things that you think are wrong are right in other realities. So this is why it sounds insane and sounds crazy. This is how the reality is really formed. And it's kind of hard to understand, or it's kind of hard to grasp, because we've been taught to believe in things that we've taught to just only believe in things that we can see or that we can touch. And it goes beyond that in reality. It really goes beyond that. Your brain, well, not just in your mind. And this is my understanding. I you think with the brain and the heart. It's like inside of that is where you get your thoughts. So the mind is not just this. The mind is also the heart. You think with your heart too, and your gut, even your gut. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of different things that you use to think with. You know, because a lot of the emotional setup with yourself comes from your gut. Certain things when you know how you meet somebody and you really feel it in your gut and your heart and your mind that a person is good. You know what I'm saying? Or you may with your mind may say don't trust this person, but your heart or your gut tells you that you can trust the person. Like everything about the person, based on your intellect, everything about the person says that you shouldn't trust, but your heart say you should, or your gut, your stomach, your gut says you should. So I'm just saying the world is not so cut and dry. It's not so black and white. It's not so up and down, back and forth. It's a lot of other things that you have to take into consideration when before you make a decision about a thing. And a lot of the things that they have brainwashed and tricked people into having like very rigid opinions about are things that are kind of fluid, should be more fluid or fluid with how you feel about that. And I'm not talking about getting into no type of like freaky type mindsets and all, because a lot of times, when once you start talking about fluidity and all that kind of stuff, people start thinking that you could be possibly going into stuff dealing with sex and preferences and lifestyles and all different stuff. But if you ask me, I would say when a lot of the people is emotionally immature. A lot of the people is emotionally immature, and they don't even really. So it's easy to a person that don't can't control their emotions. You can easily make them. You probably make them mad. The same way a person don't got control over their sex desires. They can easily be tricked into just going in a direction uh to please their sex desires. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, um, in order to be one who is not all messed up out here, meaning just being one who's not affected and who is not tricked out, and one who is not fooled easily. In order to be one who is not fooled easily, you're gonna have to use your mind. This is I've been saying this for the last couple of years of me speaking and saying things, and just speaking my mind on my content. This particular age in time, you're going to have to think your way out of it. It's going to take a lot. Either you're going to have to be thinking the right things, or you might have to just get lucky and be following behind the right person. That's the bottom line. So it is. That's the truth. Because when you still worrying about all of that, a certain kind of thing, stuff been going on. Like you got a conflict over here, right? This conflict been going on before I was born, and I was born kind of like a long time ago, right? Because I've been around for a little while. I'm 52 years old, but check me out. Let's say this one conflict. This stuff been going on for over 50 years. Way before me, long before I was even born. These conflicts have been going on, and the thing just goes around in a circle. And every so often, when I say so often, when you're dealing with let's say every 4 years. Every 4 years you'll start, or every 3 4 years you'll see certain things resurfacing in weird zone, because these are the issues. These are the issues that are talked about when the theater of a lot of politics. A lot of politics is theater. You have to reconcile that. If you reconcile that, then maybe you can go a little further, right? Meaning, yeah, reconcile it. Reconcile it that most of it is theater, meaning that a lot of it is not real. So imagine somebody trying to talk to you about something in an intelligent and in a non-emotional way. It's very difficult. This is why you see a lot of people stay mentally weighed down and by certain things, or they just follow the lead. And then when you see when you on dumb time, this is what it is. When you're on dumb time, the people that's on dumb time, they stay mad. They stay mad, or they stay, or the things that make them happy it don't even make sense. Because I would say, if like you still to in this day, I've been living 52 years, okay, and still to this day, you still have people who care about things like, let's say, award ceremonies for entertainers, or, and I'm not saying it's like these things are not important, because these things are important in certain realities. Remember, I was just talking about multiple realities. So I'm not. That's important. It is important in certain realities, but for somebody who's not, that's not their life. It's not that important, or it shouldn't be. That's if you got good sense, right? But the things that I'm saying is people are moved around based on that. You need. I'm talking to myself when I say this. You need to get control of your emotions and take away the possibility or the ability of someone to be able to just move you with your emotions and your desires. If you if you are on a self mastery, meaning you're mastering yourself and you're mastering yourself, then on that journey you have to control your desires and you have to control your emotions. If you can master your emotions and your desires, for real, I would say that that's you have mastered yourself because those are two of the hardest things. Well, your desires and your emotions is two of the hardest things, and I think maybe even the desires may be harder than the emotions, even though it's kind of like almost the same, but it just well, the emotion manifests through the desire. Whatever, it's just kind of the same, but it's not. But I think the desires are very very difficult. Well, it was a difficult thing for me, and for most people, most of us, the normal folks, we who have desires, we definitely experience difficulties with that. And it's just constant. You just got to constantly work on yourself. If every day, if you know, that's another thing. If you're coming on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, whatever, and you're paying attention to people and you're watching their content and you're listening to their words, my words have a lot of power, and yours do too. So what I'm saying is, if you're dialing in the people and you listen to their words is also making you think thoughts and you're in the creating. But what I'm saying is, on a daily basis, you should be trying to create a healthy, a safe, and a good reality for you and your family members. And if it's just you, like it is, like it's just me. It's just me right now in this situation. But I still want to put out positivity into the universe. You know what I mean, for my children. You know what I mean. No matter how far away they are from me. Um, because I love my children. And if anything, if any ones who I do feel for and love, and after acquiring certain levels of knowledge, is my children. Um, but what I'm saying is, mentally start building yourself a world where you can be at your best. Listen to people who help with that. Always be highly motivated towards what you want to do with yourself. It's also good to eat good, natural, and healthy foods. And it's also good to exercise. These are like base things. This is these are like base or basic things that you should be on with your life. You don't have to do the same thing as the man or the woman next to you. But what I'm just saying, in the basic sense, your life should have some order. And guess what? That's my opinion. And that don't mean that it got to be your opinion. But know that I can benefit from you and you can benefit from me without us having to completely mimic and copy off one another and all of that kind of stuff. That's what we need. That's another thing that we need to that we getting away from too is just mimic everybody. This robotic. This is what's killed the creativity in the world. A lot of the creativity in the world has been destroyed by people being, um, what's the word? Um, tricked into some type of life format where so everybody gotta act the same. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I know that's incorrect because ain't none of us the same. Ain't never none of us never gonna be the same. This is why even every person, everyone has a different fingerprint. You know what I mean? No, and you don't got two people with the same fingerprint, even if they twins. So that means everybody is unique. Everybody is unique in their existence. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can teach. I'm a boxing teacher. I teach kids my style of boxing, right? But they will never be able to. Even my sons, they were never able to completely uh, replicate what I. A couple of them did better than me, right? For real, and I'm glad of that because that's was my input too. But what I'm saying is, none of us. You can never really zero can copy the other, but we can take things from each other that are beneficial. We can take things from each other that are that can just make whatever we are better. But you know, and these are things that I truly know that one should be speaking about. Uh, you know, because let's say I used to be very religiously. I was very religiously rigid for most of my life, and I don't have a problem with that. And I say that with my own self, because meaning I don't have a problem with a person being that way, even to this day. Because one thing that I know is I know that people we we travel in this life or through this life as like a student, and you learn certain things from different chapters or different that you live in your life. So you will never have a understanding or overstanding of what it's like to be religiously rigid and all of that, or even religiously devout, being a devout religious person. You will never understand that if you never lived like that. You could watch documentaries and listen to people talking about how Christianity brainwashed people and Islam, mainstream Islam, and brainwashed people into believing this or believing that and all that kinds of. You could think that you understand these issues, but you don't, and you don't understand it unless you've been in it. You don't understand it, what it's like to live inside of a war zone unless you lived inside of a war zone. You don't understand what it's like to be a drug addict unless really you've been a drug addict or you've been addicted to drugs and alcohol in some form or fashion. The same thing with any other part of life. Some people have experienced, let's say, positive things or more positive things, like being able to go to college right out of high school and experience living on a college campus and things of that nature at a very young age. That's you don't understand that experience in life unless you experience it. So really, people who have been through those things can speak the most about it. So a couple of things that I've just spoken on, I have experience with, and I can talk about these things based on knowledge and for truthfully a certain level of mastery in certain things, good and bad. So, you know, my goal is to just keep consistently and constantly upgrading my my mindset. Remaining grateful for the things that I have, um, staying true to myself and staying true to my higher self, which is Allah, which is God. And this is what I intend to do every day. And I just thought I would speak about certain things. I meant to go on. I wanted to go on TikTok at the same time. I don't know what stopped me. Maybe because I was I you know because I've been going live simultaneously last few times, and it's strange. This is the first time that I've really just went on YouTube like this. But I really need to get some airtime on TikTok too, because I'm not gonna lie. I avoid I avoid certain things. I don't like to get so trendy. I like, even though, see, this is how people. But I'm a traveling blogger. I want to. but listen, either it's going to happen the way I want it to happen, or you know, it's going to happen. But what I mean is, I don't like to talk about certain things, and I really want my message is just to get people to don't follow the trend. Because if you're following the crowd, you might be following something that's wrong or something that's bad for you. You know what I'm saying? So like, get out of the habit of just thinking that, and it's just like all money ain't good money. You know, I don't want to just get into like it's a lot of people out here talking about man versus woman, man passport passport brothers, spiritual warfare, astrology, going against religion in the old world structures and infrastructures of what everybody's supposed to be thinking and doing and all that. All of these things is trending topics. And they're very important topics too. They're important. But what I'm just saying is, to a certain degree, I know now that there's so many people talking. There's so many people speaking about certain things, or speaking about a lot of stuff, that even now with the AI being implemented and being released in a certain kind of way, even though AI has always been around, there's nothing new. The AI, the artificial intelligence, is nothing new. Nothing new at all. So what I'm saying is, you're starting to see a lot of things that the AI is creating is so wonderful, and it's so I don't know, yeah, so wonderful. Even when the AI is creating artworks or just a lot of stuff, you know why? And what I'm saying is, it's starting. It's going to be with like the AI. People are going to start thinking that some stuff that's real, they're going to think it's AI. So this is that's why you have to be balanced in your mindset in in how you weigh up all of these things, and you also have to really get truthful with yourself. You have to get truthful with your higher self. Again, you have to get truthful with your higher self, meaning God, meaning the law, so that the only people see you can read books, you can sit and talk and act like you about God and the law and spirituality and all that different stuff. If you not truly right with the Most High Creator, you're not going to be able to understand these issues, and you're going to get caught up, or you're going to get caught up with, or I can word it like, or you're going to get caught up where you meant to get caught up at, meaning you're going to get stopped somewhere, meaning like, cause some people they're not elevating, even though they on a high, they on some high stuff, and I know that because I'm just saying, in the so-called conscious community, you got a lot of different facets, and but I see a lot more of the people. Let's say some of the people that I looked up to 5 years ago, I don't really look up to them anymore. I just love and respect them, because some of them have gotten stuck. You know what I mean? And it's very easy to get stuck. It's very easy, and you ain't got to be down with everything to not get you know to not get stuck. That don't mean you got to go out here and you just got to co-sign and go along with anything. Oh, do this or do that. No, 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 no. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying have the discernment. That's a trending word. Everybody know about discernment. So guess what? That's why, hey, I'm gonna use that word, discernment. That's why you gotta have discernment for each and everything. Discernment in all your affairs. Who you choose to bring close to you, who you uh, who you do business with, all those things. Increase yourself in knowledge. Gain knowledge. Don't be afraid. Uh, keep a light heart, or work towards having a light heart. The more you know, the more you won't get caught up in the dumb stuff. Avoid conflict. That's a big time rule. Avoid conflict. Learn as much as you can. Most people out here is really on dumb time. Trust and believe. Even if you even people who say and speak a certain way, you know, just keep that in mind. Stay positive. Have a good day. Eat some good food today. Make sure you show some love to somebody, even if it's just to yourself. Show some love. Take good care of yourself every day. And I'll see y'all. I'll probably see y'all in the next couple hours. But if you see my content, if you see some of my content, I would appreciate if you would like, share, and comment on my content. And much love to you. Peace.